Hi, girlies. Welcome to Book Please Podcast. It's Alina here.
Hey, guys. It's Amanda.
How you doing, my girl? All 9 fingers of you are here.
Guys, I talk with my hands, so I feel like I have to address it. I was working and I was interviewing someone, and I went and put my hands under, when you put them under your thighs?
Yeah, and you're just sitting on your hands.
Yeah, you're sitting on your hands. Is that thighs, right? Is that still considered your thigh? The back, you're whatever. So I put it under there, and then it must have hit at a weird angle, but it took my whole nail off. And when I say my whole nail, I mean my actual nail.
Your nail underneath the fake nail.
I have no bed. It's just there. It's just redness.
That is crazy and painful. But I keep telling Amanda, it's okay, next week.
Bitch, it's not going. It's not. It hasn't moved.
It's not gonna be as raw, so you could glue on a little nail or something.
I'm scared. I need my nail to grow back.
My thing is always screw the health thing. How do we cover this up and put a nail back on quick? ASAP Rocky.
I ain't trying to. The whole time I'll be is that shit get infected?
I'm dead. That is really funny. Well, how does it feel? Are you hurting?
No. It doesn't hurt anymore. But I'm trying to keep it clean and,
bandaged.
Yeah, so it doesn't get infected.
At least you can put a Band-Aid over it. So, it excuses the fact that, you have one fake nail missing,
I was at a car wash and I was going through the drive-thru and these guys were helping me, pick what wash I wanted.
Yeah.
He's like, girl, what happened to your nail?
Oh, no.
I said, the whole thing just came off.
Yeah.
He's like, you need to tell that nail. So I said, it was my fault.
Yeah, but it shouldn't. That thing just snapped off. That ripped your whole nail. That's actually not, it's not like you did a crazy thing to your nail for that to happen.
I don't know what glue she used, but that shit was
I don't know. You got to go back to Tina Teens and say, listen, ma'am.
Tina might be
I need a refund.
I need to fill soon. So I'm going to be I don't know, I don't know what to do about this one.
She'll put one on there. She's going to put it on and pray. Look away. And if she doesn't, ask for a discount since you're only doing 9
I'm not
fingers.
going out. I'm not going out for Valentine's Day with
That's
the freaking.
So stupid.
I can't.
First of all, we are putting a fake nail on you before Valentine's Day.
I'll
do it myself.
I will not go out.
Second of all, yes, you are. There's no way. You are, even if you don't put a nail on. Okay. But I'm such a bad influence. Take care of your nail. Don't put a fake nail on.
I know. I have too much anxiety to listen to you.
I'm just thinking about what I would do, which is the wrong thing to do. You know what I mean? I've had times even I remember I chipped the corner of my toenail and it was French. So in the corner where there was no nail, I just put little white paint on my skin.
You would.
I'm there we go.
You would. I thought you were going to say
solved.
You had no nail, but you still had the lady paint over it.
No. Well, I just did, but
Remember when you were a kid and you used to put on the fake fingers?
Yes.
So I feel I need one of those for my
Oh my God, that'd be so funny. Honestly. But I'm telling you, if you don't do all your full set, get a refund or get a discount for 9 nails, not 10.
Yeah, I'm going to be
listen,
you know what?
Ma'am, 10% off.
But dazzle the others. Distract the nail that's not there.
Literally. We'll CGI a finger on you for this episode.
I've been doing my nails for years and I've never had this
happen. That is actually crazy. Yeah, I've never had, actually, knock on wood, my actual nail. Yes, a piece of the top part of the nail or something, but not ripped off my finger. We're gonna need a graphic warning for the trigger.
I'm
warning.
Is God stop doing your nails? You're done?
I can't. I literally cannot. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Do you want to hear about my chronicles?
Yes.
I think I have a ghost in my apartment.
Oh,
bitch.
I wish I had one, then I wouldn't be alone.
No.
I'd feel less lonely.
No, don't put that out there. All the ghosts, stay away from us. Listen, I don't know what's happening, but we have a water filter in our fridge and it just starts pouring its own water. It'll fill up. This ghost is thirsty and I'll just be in my kitchen and all of a sudden it's pouring itself water, but the water is just pouring out onto my floor and splashing all over my fridge. Anyways,
maybe it's too full and you're not drinking enough water and that's why it's spilling.
Do you think I am not drinking enough water?
I know that's not it, yeah.
I drink so much water that I think that something's wrong. I Google it all the time. Do you know that you can die for drinking too much water?
Yes.
And now that's a new fear unlocked because I'm telling you, I will never die of dehydration. But if something happens to me, unexpectedly, knock on wood, it's going to be from overconsumption of water.
I think the only case I've seen is a woman that was on a hike and she drank so much in short period of am I special? A short period of time that She died.
No.
What the fuck?
But I do that. Like
I
I
don't mean to laugh.
I can just down a like water bottle in a second and like grab another. Like that's not, I don't know what's up.
I don't know. I just know I was like, maybe because she was like so dehydrated.
What it does is
I don't
like
know.
it like oversaturates something. It's something with like your sodium to water level or something. I don't know. It could like
you really
stop
looked
your
into
heart.
this.
Yeah, because I have a fear of it now when I heard that like you can drink too much water.
Bro, and not to knock on people that have gone because of this. If that's the way I went, I would be so mad.
Right?
Like out of all things. Like when people have freak accidents, I'm
Yes.
like, if that's the way I went.
No.
Like,
Truly.
I would be so
the
mad.
most crazy, ridiculous. I don't even want to
Yeah.
go there, put anything out. I'm going to live forever, so it's fine.
You ever see the episodes of Investigation ID where like
You and Investigation ID are
lit up
best
the
friends.
room and I'm like, I don't want to light up any room if I know that those are the people that are dying.
Stop. I'm going to stay here. We have lessons to learn, God. Like, we need to stay here. We're not good yet. I cannot.
And they always were straight A students.
Yes,
Just like,
yes, like the perfect citizen, like because they learned they're perfect in God's eyes. Like they don't need to stay here. Like let's mess up a little.
oh, we're going to hell.
Fuck around. Like we can't go. Listen,
Rest
we
in
can't.
peace, rest in
I
peace.
know. No, I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us.
Oof. Okay.
Anyways.
Anyways.
Let's talk about something that I was doing last night that you absolutely hate, but the Grammys.
I didn't even know. You literally texted me and you're like, I'm watching the Grammys for us. I'm like, I didn't even know it was on.
Listen, I have to do it for our business. I
Yes.
hold down the fort,
You
okay?
do.
But you're going to have to get on the entertainment news train one day.
No, Instagram updates me on the important stuff. I know Kanye's wife was half naked. I'm sorry,
She
she
was
was fully
fully
naked. Yes. I know freaking Jaden Smith had a house on his head. Like,
Oh
I'm
my goodness. True. You get all the highlights,
Yes.
but like really experiencing the whole thing. It's something that I've done from young. Like my mom and I would be like, oh my gosh, Grammys, Oscars, Golden Globes, like
Nope.
get on the couch. Like
Never.
I still, even from last night, I watched from the red carpet. I was watching back in the day, like when Juliana Rancic, Kat Sadler were like doing that red carpet. I was like, that's going to be me one day. Like that I watched that E-News carpet, even though they've filtered through so many hosts at this point.
Never me.
It gets me a little salty.
I feel like you and your family are probably those people that like go to like the Thanksgiving parade.
Ew.
No? Because
Bitch.
I've never been to
No.
one and everyone's like, how don't you go to that? I'm like,
no.
I grew up in I don't care.
We don't-
Watch it on TV.
No, we don't do that. We don't
Okay.
do marathons. Don't
how about,
insult
how about,
us.
How about the ball drop? You guys ever
No.
No? Okay. I've never been to the city.
Do you know what it's like to do the ball drop? These people,
It's
all I think about is,
freezing.
it's freezing.
They don't live here.
What happens if you have to, exactly, that's the thing. What happens if you have to pee? Do you know that they line up from like literally the beginning of the day to wait there to get a spot in line to watch the ball drop in New York City? They stand there all day until they like open up the area at whatever point, midday, afternoon, and they hold down the fort until the ball drops.
Nope.
What do you do? Do you have a bucket? Like, what are you doing?
That's not worth it to me.
I don't want to know what you're doing, but like that's crazy. Like when I see those people in the front line, like when that's what I think about, like when they pan the crowd, those people in the front, I'm like, you're all Looney Tunes. Like you ain't well, like something's wrong.
They have a little cafter on.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just salty. Getting back to the carpet though, I feel like they've brought in so many like influencers and reality stars and this and that. It's like bring back the entertainment journalists on the carpet. That would be my my little pitch to the industry, because what's going on?
It would never be my thing.
It will always be mine, and that's what I'll bring, and you can bring the investigation ID stories, and together
Awesome.
we are whole.
Perfect.
Yes.
I'll keep you safe and you'll keep me in the know.
Yes, perfect. Okay, so let's get into it. Our girl Sabrina Breen's killed it.
Love her.
Killed it. Looked fire. Brought home 2
Her
Grammys.
performance, amazing.
Beyond.
I
like,
YouTubed it.
Good job. See, like you did all the things you had to do, and you did it for all our booklets.
Yes.
So I appreciate that. She was a star. She looked unbelievable. I loved both her looks. I love that she wore the gold dress when she was accepting her Grammy. It was like so appropriate. So proud of her. Like could not have gone better. There were a couple of performances, I will say, that like really surprised me that were amazing. I do not care for, to be honest, Chappell Roan. For me, it's always been like, I roll my eyes at her like demeanor and entitlement attitude on the carpets, where she's like cursing off photographers and she's very blunt. Like she is very like nasty about how they take her picture and how they call at her, like, over here, over here. They're just trying to get a shot. Like, this is the nature of the business that you're in. Like, everybody before you and after you is doing this. Just like, come on, these are human beings. You're going off.
Who does she think she is? Taylor Swift?
That's
and Taylor Swift don't even act like that.
Would never.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Like, just get your picture taken and thank God that you're on this carpet. But fine. So that has always turned me off to her. But I will say, she had an amazing performance last night. She sang Pink Pony Club, which I really had never heard before. It was really actually
I don't even
good.
know who she is. I've heard of her. I don't know what she looks like.
She is very much like you. She reminds me of...
Is she like the Charlie chick?
No, she reminds me of like the new age like Gaga. Like, she does very outlandish outfits and like over the top looks.
Got it.
And they're not conventional. But I will say she's very outspoken and like firm in her beliefs. And so I think that's what like empowers her to speak out for herself. And last night when she accepted her Grammy, she got Best New Artist.
Okay.
And after that performance too, like the song is kind of like about, she is queer. So she talks about like being a lesbian in the end, or just like in life, and like the song has to do with it, and it's really actually touching. Mm-hmm. So she talked about that a little bit on the carpet and like what the song means. But when she got up there to accept her Grammy, she took a moment to like call out the industry, and she said she got Best New Artist, which is like a big deal. So she said, I promised myself, she had a little notebook that she read off of, if I ever had the opportunity to stand on this stage and accept a Grammy, I would say this. And she basically said, like, especially for young new artists that give, like, she was talking to the labels and calling them out, that give you guys everything, like our heart, soul, body, mind, every hour, ounce of energy. Like, when we're starting out and we have absolutely nothing and we give you everything, like, give us health insurance. Give us something. Like, she called out she's like, I'm here speaking for like my counterparts and the people that are going to come after me to be like, can't, like, you know, give us some sort of benefits. So she's like, I didn't have, you know, money or anything. And like, I gave you everything I had for this. So she took a moment. I mean, like, okay.
I'm for it. I mean, listen, I like how strong minded she is and vocal. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Unapologetic.
Yeah. She's her. I mean,
yeah.
She's like, it's out
so
for people.
That's
like,
good. Listen, we were drowning and we didn't have health insurance.
She's like, you can't take my picture, but give me goddamn health insurance.
Literally. But yeah.
Come on, we got to talk about the crazy people next.
We will talk about the crazy people. I do want to say, though, Shakira performed. She was timeless, incredible. She won a Grammy. Her performance, it's like she's never changed. The bitch can roll her body like beyond. She looked insane. Doechii, she won Best Rap Album, I believe. And there have only been 2 other women in the history of the Grammys to ever win this. So like, I've never heard of Doechii, and she was also up for Best New Artist, and she performed and she blew me away. I was like, okay, gotta listen to his album. She's really good. It's like old school. It sounds sick. Like, she's dope. She did her thing up there.
Yeah.
Cynthia Erivo performed beyond. Whew.
Damn, you really watched.
Of course I watched.
No, I know.
So yeah, I mean, I loved it, but there were some things that I was like, award shows are gonna award show, and we're always gonna leave disappointed. We'll leave happy for people like Kendrick Lamar, who deserved it.
We're happy
gonna
for him.
Feel a type of way about others that we're like, I don't know. What are your thoughts on some of the awards you heard about?
I'm talking about Beyonce?
Go ahead, girl.
I have a love for country music, as you know.
Yes.
Like, since I moved to Florida, it's been my thing. I love it. And I would say more new country than old country. Like, you know, I know 2 songs on that album. And maybe people like it, whatever. But like, not to knock it, I think people can switch genres of music, but I think it should go to someone that, like, that's their thing.
Yes.
That's their genre.
Right.
You know, and they are known for that. So I was she was surprised too, I would say.
She was shocked out of her mind. Did you see that? That's about to be a meme everywhere. Her face when she heard.
She was like, what the? Jay-Z, who'd you pay off for this? In my mind.
She said, who did daddy talk to?
Exactly. And then when he hugged her, I'm telling you, he said, I did this.
He said, I'll tell you in the car.
He's like, anything for you, queen.
I'm
Anything.
dead. Blue looked amazing.
Yes, she was cute.
Dead though. You know why? Beyonce was late also.
Oh.
She had just the fuck sat down and they're like, Beyonce. And she's like, what is happening? I don't think she expected it in the slightest. I will say, I kind of agree with that too, because at the Grammys, like, this is the category for country artists. And what you're saying is not an unpopular opinion, because she was not nominated for even one country music award for that album, because it's like pretty hotly contested. Like, it's not about Beyonce doing a country album. Yeah. It's that a lot of people feel that the album isn't quite country. Mm-hmm. And she did get up there in her acceptance speech and say, like, you know, I think genre is a word that's made up to make us like want to stay in a box. And like, I think that's a cool sentiment, but I also question if her music it could be country inspired, but like, did it feel truly country? Now, full disclaimer. Oh, I'm going to speak English now. Full disclaimer, I didn't hear the whole album, but the songs that I did hear, they have elements of country for sure, but I wouldn't like, that wouldn't be, it's like a fusion to me.
Yeah, if you're talking about, for example, that Texas song, just because you mentioned Texas, don't make it kind of super pop, in my opinion. Yeah. And Chris Stapleton, you should have won. Chris Stapleton, I love you.
Yeah.
You're such a great singer. Your voice is okay.
I would have been happy really for Lainey Wilson, for Casey
Lainey Wilson,
Musgraves.
Yes.
Like, they were
Lainey
in the
Wilson's
category.
Spicy. I love her.
Yeah. And I love Casey. Like,
yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. But for me, the part that really got me was that she took home Album of the Year. Beyonce taking home Album of the Year. To me, Album of the Year is the biggest honor of the night.
Who else was nominated for that?
I'll read you all the categories.
Because if my girl Sabrina was on there, she should have won.
She was.
Damn.
And she won her category, too.
She did good,
So for pop album,
for
so you would think that she would possibly get it. And I just think that Album of the Year signifies, like, what took over the culture for the past year. And there are artists in that category or albums that I maybe didn't listen to, but I think I could have made an argument for any one of those albums, even if they're not my cup of tea. But to me, I just feel like Beyonce's album was not that album that took over, even if it's not something that I listened to.
If I went into the city and I said, name 3 songs on Beyonce's album, I guarantee a lot of people will not be able to tell me.
And it's not about I heard somebody say something, and it's true. He said, just because that album did not mean a lot to you and the people around you does not mean it didn't mean a whole lot to others. And I agree with that.
Come forward. If Beyonce's album meant something to you, please come forward.
But I do agree with that sentiment, but the numbers don't lie. So the data is saying that it didn't sell like the other ones.
Bro, Jay-Z, stop paying off people to up her numbers.
I am dead. No, really. I want to talk about like this. I sent you this. I actually have
You know what? I hope I have a husband like you, Jay-Z. I always want to win. I want my man to make sure I win.
You know who's that kind of husband? Spencer Pratt. Spencer and Heidi, forget it. He will kiss the floor that she walks on. And that's why I'm like, you know what? Go off, Spencer. Okay. Best-selling female albums of the past year, which are the 2024 albums are what are, being reviewed for 2025. So the best-selling female albums of 2024. Okay. So 12.95 million listens, sales, whatever it is. 12.95 million, obviously Taylor Swift, Tortured Post Department. Then it was Billie Eilish's album. Then it was Sabrina Carpenter's album. Then it was, who is this girl? I don't even know who that is by the picture. Who is that? Let me see. Who is after Sabrina Breens?
Isn't that Shakira?
Is it?
Yeah, that's Shakira.
It looks like Shakira, but it's such a small slice of her head.
Yeah, it's Shakira.
Okay, so let me go back. Let me start over. Okay. Tortured Post Department, Taylor Swift. Then Billie Eilish. Then Sabrina Carpenter. Then Shakira. Then Ariana Grande. Then, girl, I'm just going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ninth is Cowboy Carter. So how are you putting that? And that's 2.55 million compared to number 1 at almost 13 million. It's not even close.
The math ain't mathin'.
To the ones in your category. So to me, it's not us being like, oh, this isn't our cup of tea. First of all, I do love Beyonce.
I'm not a hater. I love Beyonce.
I've seen her in concert. I listened to Renaissance back in front. I was at the gym going nuts with that album. Like, I love her. And she looked incredible.
Yep.
Her daughter Beyond. Like, but it just didn't make sense to me.
Yes, I love Beyonce, but like, for people that listen to country, it's kind of disappointing if, especially, you didn't even touch that album.
Yeah. Well, like the like country music, it did not give it a stamp of approval. So that kind of says something.
I would have been down like if it sounded more like there are different vibes to country. There's like new country, there's old.
Yeah.
If she would have fucking picked up a guitar and like maybe she did, I don't know, but then I'd be like, okay. But I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree with that. And it's funny, too, because they kept wording things in a way where they were like, when they introduced that award, they kind of said like, according to the however many tens of thousands of votes for the like they tried to like almost
justify it.
Yes, and be like, all these votes came in for this one from the Recording Academy, like blah blah blah, because they probably knew. But I feel like they just want to stir the pot. Like they want everyone to be like, oh my gosh, like what? This came out of left field. Any other album in that category you could have made a case for, in my opinion.
I agree.
So
Post Malone, I would have even.
I don't know if that he was in the category, but I'm just saying. Like,
I think he was in a category.
Was he?
Maybe I don't know if it was for best album.
Okay.
Oh no, for country, yes, he was in the country one.
Yes,
he
was in the country one. But for album of the year,
and come on, my boy Jelly Roll, where was he at? Why didn't he win anything? Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
I don't know that he was nominated.
I don't think he was. But what I'm saying is like his music, like that shit.
Yeah.
To anyone.
Yeah.
I love that man. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
This
Congratulations.
is an award show. Congrats.
Yep.
Keep on pushing boundaries.
But stop making country albums.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Or make an actual country album.
Yeah,
and then
redo.
And then we'll be sad.
Yeah.
And then we'll be sad. I think they just wanted to like say like, no, we are acknowledging you in this space.
But I do like that she does open a door for people that are like, you know what? I want to try something different.
Yeah.
But like when you try something different, try and like make it like that.
No, I agree. I think Taylor did it. I mean, she was country and then she went to pop because her stuff started being so influenced. Like,
I loved her country days.
Yeah.
That was my shit. Like that's when I was like crazy about her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it happens. I mean, just got to do it right.
Yeah.
Okay, I do want to talk about one other thing that's adjacent to the Grammys, but not quite like the award show.
Mm-hmm.
This whole situation with Babyface had me shook. So the Associated Press, I'll just start by saying, before I even say what I have to say about this, they have reporters on the carpet interviewing.
Mm-hmm.
And I start seeing all of this news come down that like Babyface is being interviewed and he gets cut off because the reporters like ran off to interview Chappell Roan. And they were like, oh, he was like in the middle of answering a question and whatever. I did not understand to the extent that this happened. Like it was worse than I could have imagined. So the way it like really caught fire, and honestly, props to you, Khloe Kardashian like tweeted out the video of the reporters denounced it, and she was like, he's a legend in his field. This is disgusting behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so inappropriate, so nasty. You gave him like you completely spit in his face, like disrespectful.
They deserve to be fired.
So basically what happened was, it's especially this one woman.
Yeah, it's one, yeah.
So I'm thinking he's like doing this full interview, and like towards the end they cut him off to interview Chappell Roan.
Like thank you, and then
yeah. Like they make him
it was
finish up, and then they quickly go to her. Not what happened. They literally asked, it would seem to like the first question, they're like, oh, hey, ask him a question. The minute he could get maybe not even two words out, then this one reporter on the side is like shook in her fucking boots. Like she's like, oh my God, Chappell. And she sees her and she's like, Chappell. This man doesn't get two words in.
And my thing too is,
it's not even like you got the interview with him. You didn't.
She looked very young. So my thing is she doesn't know the caliber of like someone like that. Like that's so it's crazy to me. Yeah.
Where's your humanity? I don't care who is in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you give the person that you're interviewing some respect.
Yeah.
This is what pisses me off the most. It was not some like influencers on the carpet or some like TMZ bullshit. The Associated Press, like, if you know this, like, as a journalist, like, they set the standard for journalism. They set journalism guidelines. Like, they are not like this random news network. Like, the Associated Press is the standard for journalism. So the fact that it was AP reporters, I was out of my mind.
Yeah.
I was blown away. The clip is worse than you would think it is.
Yeah, you would think etiquette is something they teach.
Truly. You didn't even, and it is something they teach.
Yeah.
Do you know how many morals and ethics classes you have to take to become a journalist?
I'm sure. You have to watch what you say, watch what you do.
We had to take so many morals and ethics courses. That to me was the nastiest work. And afterwards they like aired a apology, like where that woman who was like shook in her boots, like Chappell, like calling Chappell over, was like, I'm so sorry, we all like love Babyface and we all listen, and like there was no disrespect. And then after the AP like tweeted out like an apology as well, like, fire the bitch.
Yeah.
Fire her.
Make a statement of her, yeah.
I think even the girl that was interviewing him that asked him the first question was mortified. Like, she just kind of sat there and she apologized to him. The other woman did not apologize. The one who called over Chappell did not apologize. And like, if the AP really wants this interview with Chappell, just somebody behind, like on your team, can pull her aside and be like, hey, we're going to do, you're the AP, like you have respect. Like
and if you miss out on her, I mean, you weren't rude to someone that you were interviewing.
And you got nothing from what you said to her. Like there's like the interview was as boring as ever. You might have gotten something even more interesting. But
thank you for making some tea out there.
Like,
no. Never again. She learned a hard lesson, and it sucks.
I hope she's. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, especially for like a fellow journalist, because it's in the moment, like whatever. But like, damn, that just shows character to me.
I get that. Like,
you are putting another human being above another.
Yeah, you basically saying like, oh, you were like a time filler, but I want this person.
Yeah. Like, get at it. And he handled it well.
He's such a sweetheart.
I just want to give him a hug. You can come on the pod anytime, Babyface. Like,
yes.
My heart is shattered. I hope he gets like really dope opportunities after this. Like, I hope more people pay attention.
Yep.
Like, I can't. You want to talk about some other tea?
Yes.
Okay, I die. So I heard that Diddy went to the hospital while in jail. Rushed to the hospital. I'm like,
did someone get back at him?
That's what I said. I'm like, did somebody get him? Listen to this BS.
Oh,
okay. Let me.
Bro, he better not go on the run.
Let me read.
Imagine he goes on the run.
This is from People Mag. I know. I thought about that too. Like, he's out of those walls and he's looking around and he's like, "Oh, real life is out here."
And I have pity for that man.
This is from People magazine. They said Combs, who is currently in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, was brought to the hospital so he could get an MRI on his knee. And it says the mogul was taken to Brooklyn Hospital at around 10 p.m., but he did not spend the night at the hospital. The source told the New York Post that Combs's knee was bothering him, in quotes, as it has ever since he ran the New York City Marathon in 2003.
I ain't never seen that man run. That's full of shit.
Someone
broke his kneecaps.
You're thinking about, you ain't never seen that man run. I'm thinking about, how did they buy this story that he's like, my knee has been hurting since 2003.
I don't believe it. I think
that's over 20 years ago.
No.
You're that bored in jail that you're like, oh, my knee's bothering me. Take me for an MRI. Like, you have that's like his exciting field trip of the day. Your knee hurts from 2003. I thought that said for a second 2013, 2023.
Yes.
2003. That's literally insane to me.
I bet you it's not even in, his extracurricular activities.
I don't think Dad, for sure. I don't think his knee was hurting. I just think he wanted a little excitement in his life behind bars.
That's what happens to your knees when you hit women.
Facts. Preach. Nothing more to add. Nothing more.
Yes, done.
Okay.
Love you, Cassie. Okay, I'm done.
Love you, Cassie. Okay. Rolling my eyes as I say this.
Ugh,
More.
I know where this is coming.
More lawsuit.
Where this is going.
More lawsuit news for It Ends With Us. So they set a trial date, finally, so we can be like, closed, done, chapter over. Colleen, keep going with your life, okay? They set a trial date for Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, and the trial date is March 2026. I saw it and I said, oh, March. No, March 2026. We have to endure another year plus of this news.
I hope they make it like public, like they did the Amber and Johnny Depp one.
I think
I would love that.
We will be sad.
I wish we had. I don't know if we had our pod when that was happening, but I wish we could have talked about that.
That was some saucy stuff.
It made me realize that she's probably not that good of an actress because she couldn't even act that good in court.
That was really something. And now people are trying to say, like, no, was she just slandered? Like, Blake was this, that. I don't think it was the same thing.
No. My thing is...
And she was, like, fully lying on the stand.
The reason why I batted for Johnny Depp is because he's been in previous relationships.
Yeah.
And they went on the stand and defended him. You know, Winona Ryder, she said, he never laid a hand on me. Like, and I'm just like... a man just doesn't become a beater, in my opinion.
There was something so funny that like stuck with me from that trial where she referenced this makeup palette.
That wasn't even out, right?
To put on to cover her bruises, and then like the brand like slyly dropped like the release date that was nowhere like during the time frame that she said she had these bruises. So that's hilarious.
And I feel like it kind of sucks because. Not that I think it should be taken lightly, like her side of it.
Correct.
But she also is making it harder for women that actually are, that actually deal with this.
Right.
And then for men, too, like just because you call and say, so, like, I don't like it. I think it's very distasteful.
Yes. I hope there's not a world where, like, this happened to her and, like, we're all just, like, not believing her, but like there was a lot there that made us feel that way.
Yes, so, and I think they did right by him. I think the jury like knew. Like I feel like it's how it ended was like how it seemed it should have went.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. And I will say too, with the Blake and Justin BS, like I find it hard. I do see things that are crazy and chaotic on both sides. I'm not like you're a saint and you're not. There are things I can't look past, like those text messages between Justin and his PR team. For me, I find it hard to move past somebody saying, let's destroy her, let's put this out there, let's plant this, let's so for me, that is like the part that's the hardest thing to get over. However, there have been cringe things released on her end too, like some of her text messages that she says, like there's a text message where like she was trying to like defend like the changes that she wanted to make to the script, and she's like I can't defend you in this moment. She was like, when you come to like learn me better, you will realize like I am like Khaleesi, like meaning from Game of Thrones. Oh, she's like, and my protectors are my dragons. Like she's talking about like her husband and Taylor, and he's like, and she's like, so like how embarrassing that like this is how you're texting somebody who's the director of a movie, and you're like, they're just here to like support me, like. You like that to me.
She puts herself
gives
on a
me
pedestal,
chills,
for sure.
And I'm like looking at some of this stuff, and I'm like, how did you speak like this? But at the same time, like I can't compare some of that to like do I have to like her? No, but do I feel like some of the stuff that he did was absolutely insane? Yeah, and like
I agree with that. Something
to be said about the entire cast also not on his side. Like they know what happened, we don't.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm very. I've heard she's difficult to work with. Who cares?
Yeah.
A lot of people are difficult to work with. That doesn't bother me. And I think, yes, he definitely should have dialed it back. And I do agree with her. You don't fuck with Blake Lively. The people she has behind her.
Yeah.
You fuck with someone that Taylor Swift, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, you should be scared. So
but
it's
cringe.
like,
like, what?
I'm going to follow just because I feel like we have to. Because
we do have to.
But it sucks. It's sad.
Yes, it is. It's really unfortunate. Another thing that like just came out with that was like, I kind of thought, I was annoyed at first that it's going to drag till March. And then I was like, okay, maybe it'll just die down for a bit. But then like now Justin just launched a website, and it's literally like lawsuitinfo.com. Like it's literally, I don't know what it actually is, but it's literally like every piece of evidence that he has in a website. And I'm like, I can't with you. Like, you are just, and all these hoes they're all in love with him.
In
so
love.
anything
Yep.
that Justin Baldoni says is like I want to like actually listen. And you know what? If there are things disprove me, fine. My mind is open. We're not like, oh my God,
Yeah, we're not one
ride
way.
or die this side. But it's just so funny that like people are. Did you hear his voice note that got released? There's a voice note that like got released that Justin Baldoni sent to Blake in the middle of the night. And like people are like, I wish this was on my comm app. Because like his voice is like, hey Blake, sorry to bother you so late. But and you know what? For me personally, I've never seen anyone say this, but I find the voice note so inauthentic because it sounds like he's acting. Like he takes a dramatic pause. He exhale. Like it's like exhale here. It's like
So the way I feel about it too is I feel like so Blake weird. Is like I know Blake is not the nicest person. We all know that.
Yeah.
Where I think for him, he puts up this facade like he's a nice guy, but he's really not. I don't believe him either.
He has a podcast called Man Enough where he tries to prove like he's like the man for what, like those are the biggest red flag people. Like if you have to sit here and say you're this like ally and feminist and this to me, like it's cringe. I don't know.
See, my thing is if you want to act like Andrew Tate, be as vocal as him. Put that shit out. Don't try and act nice.
He acts like he pretends like he's the opposite.
Oh, he's like that comes out the nice way.
Like violence is never the answer with women. Let's let these people who are abused speak. You're abusing a woman in front of the world.
Like a hypocrite, yeah.
Come on. Like you are putting her out, hanging her out to dry. She's a mother. She's, I don't know. Anyways, we will see. Should we talk happy book news?
Yes.
Okay. Our book?
Oh, the book we're reading?
We finished.
Okay.
Should we do
I was like, is there another movie coming out or show about a book?
Not yet.
Yes. Oh, so good.
Screaming, crying, throwing up. We finished.
We have to make sure we rate it. Yes. I want to definitely do that.
We never rate books of authors that we have on. And I feel like we have to anyways. Because like we're super biased and we just say, you know what, let's not because it doesn't sound authentic. Because we get close with these authors.
But I also feel like we also have gotten lucky that every single author we've had on
has been a 5 out of 5.
Yes.
But we try really not to rate them because it's like it's easy to be biased. But there's just no way around this rating. But
I mean, this book I think was super good. And Sarah's book, I just have a thing for love.
Italian love stories.
Yeah, it's my new thing.
I know. Obsessed beyond. Okay, so we finished Bella Vita by Mary Belle. Please go to her website, marybellebooks.com, to purchase your copies of Vivi Il Momento, which is the first book, and Bella Vita, which is the second. Amazing. And go listen to our interview with her. Yes. She is a light. She is funny. She is smart. She has so much advice. Like, love her. This book we read from chapter 29 to the end. You want to go first?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm just going to drop my favorite parts. Obviously the wedding. Obviously when the dad, when they all sat down in the kitchen and even like the gifts they were giving her, I cried so much.
It was so beautiful. What I loved so much about this, like getting ready for the wedding and the this and that, it was such we're just here to celebrate love in each other. It's not about, she didn't sit there and harp on like, this is what the floral arrangement has to be. This is what we need this, we need that. I'm stressed. I'm this. It's literally like, let it be whatever it is. I'm here with the people that I love most and with my person. And that's all that matters.
Yep. When they had the bachelor and bachelorette party.
Yes.
She didn't wear white. And she's like, I just want to have a good time with even though they were like, you're still going to get people looking at you with that hat outfit on.
Look like I know. But that's like really stood out to me. It was so important. And I feel like it's such a lesson because I think in a lot of like this wedding culture, like people get so wrapped up and it's not about the wedding. It's about your love. It's about your marriage. And I sincerely feel this way more and more as I get older. Like I am not investing every ounce of my energy, stress, and money into a literal 4 our celebration.
No, I'm paying someone to do that.
No,
because we're gonna be loaded by then.
Yes, but like it's just not. It's as long as you're with your person and you're happy and your heart is full and you have the people you love most around you. Like that's what matters.
Bitch, we're both gonna be bridezillas. I don't care what you say.
I don't know. I think more and more as I get.
Girl,
maybe if I got married at 25.
We're crazy about our proposals. Imagine the wedding.
Yeah, I don't know about that though. I really don't. I think that
guys, you heard it here. When it happens,
you'll let them know. But like, yes, I'm gonna be stressed. But as I get older, I feel like I don't want it as big. I don't care about that. I'll do a little destination with close people around me. I really don't care about all that kind of stuff because I've always said this. I care more about, I care about my ring and my house. Like those things I'll put my money and energy into. I don't care about the wedding it's going to be gone. Literally, it goes by so quick.
And when people have such big weddings, they don't have time to enjoy it.
No.
You have to do this. You have to take pictures. You have to, like, it's too much.
I think when I was, like, younger in my 20s, and one of my best friends got married, like, she was the first out of all of us, and she was young. We were, like, in our mid-20s. She did the whole big, big wedding that, like, the typical, like, this is what you think. And I remember looking at it in awe, and I just can't imagine. Like, I'm just, like... How much did she spend? Like $70K? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, that is it. As I've gotten older, I'm like, I don't care about that shit. Like, I don't. But I loved her attitude about it. Mary continued with the lessons. Like, as the book went on, we had finally that moment with Papa. Papa. I wonder how should we
I call him Dad.
Dad. With Gennaro's father. Who proposed to his mom.
Oh, that was so cute.
We
saw that was gonna happen. Yeah, like.
But I really needed it to happen.
Yes.
Like I loved watching everyone's journey full circle. I love that Pesca was able to move forward.
Oh, yes.
I loved Allie's journey as well, and I also liked how Allie kind of was pointing out to Mia, like, and Mia was saying the same things too. Like it's not just like. You went to Italy and you just like found this like you also let yourself be present. You put yourself in this mindset. Like they also gave like credit to themselves, and it was just such a beautiful journey, and like seeing them both move past their past.
Yeah, I would say the wedding was beautiful too. I bawled when the Gennaro's dad was saying like, you know, the best thing that happened to our family, you know, like it wasn't just
and his mom's letter.
Oh yeah, and the mom's letter. Oh, I cried too. It was all so cute. And then he was like, you know, I saw an example for my son of like what love is and how to love, which is what made him propose and all those things. And then when she was like, we want to take over the family business, and he was like, I was like, bawling.
Yeah,
bawling.
It was so. Everything was like wrapped up with a bow so perfectly. Like I hate when like you leave a part of the story that you feel like this, we didn't get closure about this.
She didn't get pregnant.
We had a like engagement basically weeks after they met. So let's,
and in the third book.
Not weeks, but like, you know, they had 2 weeks and they fell in love. Like, let's not rush everything.
I'm just saying.
She got, you know, she has a business. She's living in a new country.
But that baby would have been made out of love.
She needs to, it will be. Like, it's implied. She needs to let her live her, you know, enjoy her marriage and her man.
You have to talk about the
live
ending.
Her life. Yes, I'm getting
predicted
there.
it.
We did have Francesca's piece come to a close in a positive way.
Oh, thank God, yeah.
I will always be bitter about that.
Not me. I was happy for her.
I wasn't.
She was jealous.
Mary, I wasn't happy for her.
She was jealous and bitter.
Mary did the right thing, but she's better than me. I am so like yes, her character arc, like great, happy for Francesca, I guess, but like I'll never forgive her. Maybe I'll forgive her, but I'll never forget. I got one eye. One eye is on Francesca always. You know, like, okay, good. And I'm so glad you found somebody. Now go. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Goodbye.
Yeah, I think she was, even when she like came in a little like abrupt, making herself comfortable.
Yeah, like get
I was
the
like,
heck
okay.
out of here. Hey, but anyways, I mean, every part of we have so much passion about every
talk about
part
Allie's
of this book.
Kids.
Yes.
Meeting Vin. He was so
cute.
And
he had the dolls.
Yes,
that was
so
the
sweet.
cutest thing.
Oh, I loved it.
The whole thing was just like, I was in all my feels. Like, even loving the part where I'm like rolling my eyes at Francesca, because like you fall and you're so invested in every character and like you feel passionately about each thing that's happening. But I knew that
Papa?
Yeah. When I saw that the epilogue was coming, I was like, oh, it was too good to be true. We know what's happening. We know what's coming. And I was just, it was like, I was reading it and I was like, oh my gosh, we're getting his perspective and we're going to learn these things. And then it says like, it's bolded and it says like, and then I was gone.
Girl, I was here for it.
Someone
needed to
it was like, but I wasn't there anymore. Or however she said it, I was crying my eyes out. I mean, listen, I know it needed to happen and it was such a great storyline for him. Like he came back from all of those years. He proposed, he changed, he learned his lessons. Like it was a beautiful ending. And then he's like watching his property from above and his family. But it just pulled at my heart. I was literally audibly crying.
Oh, see, I didn't cry at that part.
Really?
Yeah, I cried more when like
because it was like beautiful.
Yeah, it was
the ending.
Yeah, and I feel like she foreshadowed it when she said we want to take over the property. Once Mia said that, I was like, oh, he's dying.
Yeah, when that happened, when the proposal happened, I was like, we're coming to the end of his story. It makes sense. It's like the natural progression of how it would go, but it still got me. And like my boyfriend came in and he was like, "What is going on? Are you crying?" And I'm like, I can't. This character just died. Like, leave me. I need space.
And my thing is, you set yourself up for this. I don't know why you cried.
I know.
When I know someone's gonna die, I'm like,
I know, but it just because the way that she wrote it was like he was speaking in his perspective, and so I was like, oh, he lived.
Once I saw his name, I was like, dead.
Yeah, I thought that, but then it's like talking about like, oh, these past 3 months, da 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 da, and I'm like, oh wow, and then I turn the page and it's like bolded, and it's like because I wasn't there anymore, or like whatever, I was gone, or however she said it in bold, and I was like, no, like, but
it was beautiful. He spent time with his family. He closed a lot of like doors of things that he, was really salty about. And with his wife, having a few months together and her finally taking her on dates. Like,
so she got to like wrap up her story and like got what she never had and like had always been craving. Like it was a beautiful time for her. Like I'm so glad that we at least made it to like where he lived to be able to do that before leaving. And then he's like watching over all of them and in a place of peace.
Mary, third book. We need one.
Yes, we do. Allie spinoff, something, somehow, some way, keep them alive.
Yes.
But we are excited about this and whatever else, like your other bodies of work that are coming. We're so excited to embark on this journey. Let's rate this book.
So for me, obviously a 5.
5 as well.
Yep. And usually we don't rate authors' books, but, we read 2 of her books and we read this. So we thought...
Because we just get so invested and we're going to be biased when we meet these authors. But like it's just so good that we're like, we're not even going to skate around this. Like it deserves us to be like shouting from the rooftops that this is a 5. This is a 5. The first book, Vivio Momento, was a 5. Bella Vita was a 5. Like we are obsessed with this series.
So good.
Why don't you tell everyone what we're reading next?
So finally,
yes,
we will be reading Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. We read the first 2.
Yes.
Loved. And now we're super excited for the next one. We both have it already.
Yes.
I've been trying not to touch it.
Yes.
But it's so
hard. And it's such a gorgeous book. Like I want to read it. But we want to give you guys an authentic reaction. So we have been holding the F back.
For the last page.
Yes. Well, for the whole book.
Dane's dying.
For the whole book, we... haven't started because we want to be like in the moment, like go and record as we're reading. So we'll be doing chapters 1 through 13 in Onyx Storm for next week's episode.
I'm sorry, guys. I was talking about TikTok. You're gonna get our live reactions for the last page on TikTok.
Yes. Oh, yes. We're recording that because like it's supposed to be a big page. So, and Rebecca has said like that it's something that she knew would be written from when she started the series. So we are sat and waiting for that. Do not touch the back of your book.
If it's Zay Daddy,
no,
I'm not watching your Prime show.
Yeah, literally. Do not touch our man.
Dane can go. The brother can go again.
Yes. And
again.
And for next week, we will do like a little recap of Fourth Wing and Iron Flame before we jump into Onyx Storm. So if you want to like pause it there and then move on to the first and second sections the next week, you can. We'll do a little recap for you. But even just to kick off the discussion, we will make sure to highlight like the key points that happen in the first 2 books before we talk about chapters 1 through 13 next week.
Yep, make sure to read chapters 1 through 13. And then if you are following on, if you're watching on YouTube, you better subscribe. And we're also on TikTok and Instagram at Book Please Podcast.
Thanks, guys. Bye.